Welcome to transfer season in a year gardening. It's not the football transfer season. This is where we start to transfer all of our lovely flowers out of the greenhouse and the polytunnel into the garden, and we bring our vegetables and our fruits like our tomatoes and our cucumbers into the greenhouse to grow. So we've got a lot of plants to transfer, and I'm going to share that with you now. This is a year gardening for June 2022. Well, welcome to the front garden again. My daisies are growing really well, and what I've done now is I've taken a lot of the plants out from the greenhouse and I've put my echinaceas here into a trench, and we've got all of the lovely dahlias, which you may remember a couple of months ago I planted up into these pots. They're looking absolutely fantastic, and we're going to get those planted into the area behind me now. Well, I've put the echinaceas where I really want them to be. They're going really well, but what I've done is I've put about an inch of compost into the bottom, and I'm going to take some of my rooting compound and just pop this in the bottom, really to give the plants some good growth. So I'm going to take these out of here, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to put just a couple of scoops of this underneath the plants, give them a good chance to grow. And there's another one coming in on this side here, which is lovely. Then all I've got to do, I'm going to take the labels out of here, pop these out of the pots, and as you can see, we've got some really nice roots growing on here, and they're going to be absolutely fantastic. And then we're going to bring some soil in just around the edges. I've dug this out, but some of it is very clayey, very solid, so we need to break this up. Now, the echinacea is a lovely plant. It's a daisy type plant, and I've got some over the far side of the border here, and this will just give it some balance. So we'll get these into the ground, move that there, and then we can pop the labels into here. Got to break this clay up. Don't mind doing it by hand. There we go. And we'll pop this next one into here, and then bring some soil around the edge again. Now, I'll carry on doing this, but what I'm going to do is just top this off with some multi-purpose compost. We'll make this really nice. Break this. See, I can't even break this up. It's so solid. We've had some rain over the last couple of days, but not enough, really. Get that into there. Give that a nice firming down by hand. And then we get the next one in. Lovely jubbly. And then I'll just carry on, and I'll put the last one in at the end, and these will give us a lovely back to the front area here, which is where I'm going to plant the dahlias. Now, you remember when I planted the dahlias a couple of months ago? These are now very strong, looking lovely. I've got a little bit of grass growing through this, so I'm going to take that out when I put that in. But all in all, very happy with the way these plants are growing now. Well, now it's time to put these dahlias in. Now, we've already put some compost in the bottom of the ground here. Just break up some of this clay. Just give it a good chance to grow. Then we can take, first of all, a little bit of the rooting compound, good fertiliser to give the plants a chance to grow. Pop it out the pot. Let's have a little look. Now we've got some fantastic roots on here, really, really good. Take the label. And then just put the soil back in around the edge. I'm trying to break this up, give it a little bit of joy. This is so clay and solid. Could add some compost. And build this in around the edge. Now we've got a bit of grass growing in there. We'll take that one out of there. A little bit more compost. Now we've got 9 of these to put in here, and these will look absolutely beautiful come the height of summer. These are all pom-pom dahlias, and they're going to look absolutely stunning. Now I'll get all of these in here, then water them, and then we'll have a look. Well, there we have it. Dahlias, echinaceas, and these are going to flower beautifully through the summer. And the great thing with the dahlias, remember, the more we cut them, the more they will grow. So we'll have flowers inside and outside. The only thing I've got to do now, give them a good water in. I've got my little friendly watering can. So let's do that now. Give them a good water. So I put a little bit of compost over the top to hold the moisture, give them a really good chance to get themselves going. And I think this is going to be a lovely little corner of the front garden. I think you'll agree when you see it in a month or so's time. This is going to absolutely be stunning. Oh yes. Flowers for the table, flowers for the garden. You can't ask much more than that, can you? Another one of the great things about a garden when you build it is that certain areas are hidden from view, and you've got to walk round them to see the rest of the garden. So you can't see me, but I'm here. Here I am in the garden, in my seating area, and it's hidden from view from this side. Other areas are hidden across the side, and you have to walk around the garden to enjoy the experience of the garden. That's one of the great joys of a garden design that opens up small areas at a time. So think about that as you're expanding your views in your garden, closing views to open views. It really works. Hello and welcome back to the greenhouse. As I said, it is really time to start moving out the flowers so I can get my tomatoes and cucumbers in here ready for growing. As you can see, I've got quite an array of flowers growing in here. They need to be planted out. However, I've also got a little job to do for a local public house to plant up some planters, and I'm going to be using a lot of these plants in that. I'll show you how I plant those up now. Well, the landlady of this public house bought a selection of these metal planters which just hang on a wall shelf, and we need some nice flowers in there. One thing I have done is I've drilled a small drainage hole in the bottom of each planter just to allow some drainage through, and we'll start off the planter by just getting some stones and gravel into the bottom. just to allow decent drainage and to stop that hole blocking up. We'll then put just a couple of inches of compost in there. It's a little bit too much. Then we need to decide what plants we're going to put in there. But first of all, I will put just a little bit of my rooting feed in there, which will give the plants a bit more food. And we'll pop that in just in that top layer of compost. Then the plants. So what are we going to use as our centre on this one? Well, we've got some pelargoniums growing here, so let's take one of those. Got a little bit of grass in the top of that one. Nice little plant, decent bit of root, and the rooting compound's going to help. We want the plants to be roughly level with the top of the container, which as you can see, that is. And then we just want a little bit of summer bedding around the edge. So what shall we grab in there? I think we'll take some petunias. And we can just lay these in around the edge. Maybe some lobelia as well. I put the lobelia actually to the front of this one. There. And we'll put another petunia in on the side. Pop that in over here. And then we just fill that out with compost. And that over the course of the next sort of 5 or 6 days, we'll keep in the greenhouse. It'll grow on, and then that'll be ready to take down to the pub garden and give that a nice look. Well, I thought I'd show you my potatoes. They're growing rather nicely. And if I just bring you along there, yeah, these are my first earlies, and we'll be harvesting those in just around about 2 weeks' time now. And so looking forward to some decent tatties. Well, I'm back in the greenhouse now, and as you can see, my tomatoes and my courgettes and my cucumbers are growing rather well behind me. They've got to go into here and the polytunnel, but I've still got around about 200 plants to get out of the greenhouse and put into the garden. So time is against me. I've really got to get on with this, but I've got some beautiful plants here. I'll show you this. Now, there we go. Mirabilis. These are the little ones that we put in just back in April. And look at the size of that plant. Absolutely gorgeous. The roots are coming through the bottom of the pot, as you can see. And we really need to get these into the garden and growing properly. And now I've got, I don't know, 5, 6 of those. We've got our oxalis. Oh, so many plants to actually get planted out. So I've really got to get on with this over the next couple of 3 days. But that's basically going to bring me to the end of today's show. But in the next show, I'm going to be showing you the work that I'm going to do on my Zen garden at the bottom where the roses are. We're going to be cleaning that. We're going to be putting the weed membrane down. We're going to put in the stones down, making it look really, really lovely and relaxing. And there are so many things on my mind, but I've really got to concentrate on just getting 1 or 2 things really, really right. So that's going to bring me to the end. So let's just move up to the summer house and sum up on today's show. Well, my sincere apologies. This has been quite a short little show, but Julie and I have been away on holiday, and we've been to visit our little pub in Hastings, and I've got some photographs to show you in the next month's show. But suffice to say, when we were down there, a lot of the local people were working on the garden, and it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Now, I've been through a couple of things that I'm doing today. It's been a bit of a challenging time because we've had our holiday, we've had the Jubilee party. Now, I was going to put some photographs of the Jubilee party on this video, but I haven't got authority from all of the people that are in the pictures to do so, so that will have to wait, but hopefully we'll get that authority and I'll show it to you in the next show. Now, in a week's time, because I'm going to catch up, trust me I am, I'm going to be going down here and I'm going to be working on the new Zen garden, and that will be up with you to share the work that I'm doing on that. And then I think finally all of the garden areas will actually be completed. For the first time in the 4 years I've actually been working on this garden, I think I will have all of the areas completed, and then it will be maintenance going forward. You never know, there might be changes. I can't tell. And there we go. Anyway, I'm just going to leave a little aside here to my friends in White Regis. Thank you very much, by the way, you guys down in Dorset, for joining me on these shows. But I found out that someone I know via social media actually lives in White Regis. So, Mr. Steve Cox, hey, welcome to this show, because I know you've now subscribed to White Regis TV, and from the Crystal Palace Revolution site. So we're all Palace fans together, and we're looking forward to a great season next year. However, I'm going to leave you in this lovely bit of my garden and say thank you very much for joining me. I leave you with these few kind words, as always. Stay safe, be kind to each other, take care, happy gardening, and I'll leave you with a small glass of Shiraz today. Cheers.